Hello, everyone. This video is going to be all about knowing when you're ready to lose your virginity. Okay, so this is going to be primarily targeted towards, and I hate the word normal, like what does that word even mean, but like not super religious people, just like people living in 2011 that are just going to normal high schools, living normal lives, you know, Canada, the States, Europe, going through life just in the social climate that is 2011. First off, let me say that there's a lot of misconceptions around who's having sex, when they're having sex, how much sex they're having. Basically, the average age in North America that girls lose their virginity is actually 15, and the average age for boys is 17. So boys are losing their virginity later than girls. And a lot of girls don't really seem to think that. They seem to think that like boys are all having sex and they've had sex with like all of these girls and they're way behind, and if they don't have sex with the guys, they're not going to be able to keep them. And that's a whole nother video. But basically just know that that's not really the rate. And guys tend to talk a lot when it comes to sex, especially guys in high school, but they're not really doing as much sex as they are talking about. So right off the bat, this is going to be a little bit more directed towards girls, like in high school, just so, you know, if you're a guy, this may not, every single thing may not be applicable to you. But right off the bat, if you're a girl in high school considering losing your virginity, first off, you better have a boyfriend. You better be in a serious, committed relationship with someone, because you don't want to just willy-nilly give that away to just some random guy. So step one, you have a boyfriend, you're in a committed relationship, and you're deciding consciously and before you're like making out and in the moment, I'm ready to lose my virginity. This is something that I want to do with this person. Losing your virginity is not something that you want to regret. I completely do not regret my experience. It was an experience that gave me a really positive, emotional, and connected view on sex and future sexual experiences, so that it wasn't, if you lose your virginity in a really negative way with some random guy that you just met, then it's going to give you a negative spin on sex for possibly the rest of your life. So make sure that it's a chosen decision with someone that you're committed with. You also want to make sure that you are able to discuss with the guy protection, you know, what if, even, you know, no protection is 100%, so what happens if you get pregnant? What happens if, you know, one of you has an STD? Some STDs, i.e. herpes, you can be born with. If your parent has herpes, you can have that. Also HIV, you can be born with that. But you should be using a condom, so that has nothing to do with what's going on, because condom goes without saying. If you're kind of sitting there thinking, I can't talk to my boyfriend about sex, I can't talk to him about birth control, I can't talk to him about STDs, then you shouldn't be having sex with him. If you can't have a conversation with someone about your feelings, about possibilities, about negative pros and cons, then you're not old enough to be having sex. You're not having sex with the person that you should be having sex with, because you're not able to connect emotionally and have an open and honest conversation. You're not ready to be having sex with them. If you're too shy to talk about sex, you shouldn't be having sex. Also, you need to think about how you're going to feel after. Having sex with a guy is not going to automatically bring you guys closer unless you already have possibly, and hopefully, especially if you're losing your virginity to someone, months and months and months, you know, up to a year, up to more than a year. But you don't need to be in any rush. Really, unless you're in a steady relationship like that, like if you've been dating for 2 weeks and you're like, if I have sex with this guy, this is going to keep the guy around. It will not. Like, that's a bad plan. Don't do that. After months of, you know, dating a guy, you should talk about it. You should be like, you know, are we gonna have sex, blah, blah, blah. Hopefully the other person is a virgin also. That makes it like all the more special. And also they're more prone to be able to wait a lot longer for you. If the guy's not willing to wait, don't lose your virginity to him. There are good guys that are willing to wait, especially for virgin. Virgins are a hot commodity. Like, I don't think you realize because you're 16 and you're like, let's get rid of this virginity as soon as possible. But virgins are like a hot commodity. So basically, the longer you stay a virgin, the less virgins there are. So guys like virgins. Like, virgins, there's something sexy about virgins. That's kind of gross, but it's a fact. Don't think that being a virgin is a bad thing, or that guys don't like you because you're a virgin, because that's not true. And if a guy doesn't like you because you're a virgin, the only reason is because he wants to fuck a lot of girls. That's the reason. Sex is power, and you have the vagina, therefore you have the power. The sooner you have sex with someone, the sooner you give away your power. Unless you're already in a steady, committed relationship where there's no games and struggles and like mind games, then don't have sex. Because if it's not, what's going to happen is you'll have sex and the guy will drop you like a hot potato within a month, and then you're going to feel horrible because you're going to be like, I gave my virginity away to some guy that doesn't even care about me, and that would suck. Because I know a lot of girls that it's happened to, and it sucks ass. So wait it out. You can be as old as you want. Like, you know, getting to the age 30, that might be a little bit creepy, but it's your life. So if you don't want to have sex, if you want to wait. What's worse, saying I'm a virgin or saying actually I've had sex with that fucking loser across the room that has also had sex with 57 other girls, talks shit about me, calls me a slut now, doesn't respect women. Now I feel like a bag of smashed assholes and a used tampon. Okay? What's worse? I'd rather say I'm a virgin, so. Okay? Okay. Go virgins.